Hello everybody, welcome to episode number 7 of the Real Talk Real Estate Show. Getting ready to start your home search, have a pretty good sense of where you want to live? Well, in today's episode, I'm going to explain why you should be expanding your horizons. Washington, D.C. real estate. Fiercely competitive and always changing. Where people from all corners of the world come to make their mark. So on this show, we get real. Real about what actually matters. Where I show you what's behind the curtain. And you get a new perspective. Because having the knowledge and insight means the difference between winning and losing. Welcome to Real Talk Real Estate. So thanks for checking in. On today's show, we're going to talk about the reasons that you need to be exploring new areas and expanding your home search. And it's true with anything in life. It's never a bad thing to have an open mind, but especially when you're making such a large decision like purchasing a home. I mean, you're planting roots for a long, long time. And the way you do that is by starting to get out of your comfort zone. Specifically, this is what I'm talking about. On the weekends, circle an area on a map that you're not already considering. Go there, visit the local shops, visit the local restaurants, have a cup of coffee. For example, right now we're in a bake joint. They had a very successful location in Georgetown and moved to Vernon Triangle. In this area, if you really want to talk about it, 10 years ago wasn't much to see. And now you have new businesses moving in, you have new restaurants, and the area is just transforming right under our feet. So it's an example of 10 years ago you may never have thought about this area, but in reality, it's a great place to check out. So I encourage you, the way you start is by literally going and visiting these places. Once you do that, you may be surprised. You all of a sudden find yourself changing your mind completely about an area that originally you had crossed off the list. So that's the first point. Just keep an open mind, try the local fair, festivals, whatever's going on in those neighborhoods. But here's another point, and it segues quite nicely. Don't look at what's going on today. I mean, that's important. You look around you, hey, there's these established neighborhoods you probably already live in, and you're thinking, I'm in my comfort zone right now, I know what's here. Well, look at the future. Take a look at the long-term plans for any neighborhood, whether that's in the district, Maryland, or Virginia. It doesn't matter. There's a 10-year, 20-year plan for all of these areas. And frankly, by doing that, you've just accomplished two things. Number one, you're maximizing your budget. I mean, listen, in a quickly developing area, there's an opportunity there, a real opportunity to get more for your money. So you go to a place like Vernon Triangle, 5 years ago, if you would have bought right here, man, by now you're sitting pretty, you've done pretty well. So it's an example of an emerging area that all of a sudden is far more valuable than it was and will continue to go that way. H Street Northeast, another great example. They're all across this town. There are numbers of examples, but at the end of the day, by you expanding your horizons and looking toward the future, you can definitely reap the benefits of what that brings from a property value standpoint. But additionally, you have an opportunity to encounter new businesses that are going to be moving in and be a part of that transformation. There's something really, really unique about that. So again, if you just focus on what's currently available, what's currently appealing about a certain area, you're going to miss that entire opportunity on many levels. And so it also brings up another point. Think about this. In a world where your time, you're being pulled in 1,000 directions, there's so much going on, what would you do with an extra hour or 2 hours a day that you weren't spending on the highway commuting, or you weren't on the metro getting caught in tunnels with smoke and all that stuff? I mean, think about that. If you were to move to a closer in area, maybe start considering, I want to live where I work and work where I live. What would that do to your life? How would that change your day-to-day interactions? Could you do more? Could you go to that gym that you can't really get to because you're exhausted by the time you get home? Spend more time with the family? I mean, listen, by considering alternatives to what you're currently looking at, you may be doing a couple things. Yeah, you'll be sacrificing some space. Maybe you get less for your money in that area, but there's a future opportunity to earn that back with the property values and such. Or maybe you have to settle for a 2-bedroom instead of that single-family house. So again, there are concessions, but there's something very valuable right now, and there's been a tremendous shift in the market. I see it happening all the time. The migration used to be to move out, bigger spaces, further out of town. Well, traffic and time being such a valuable thing and spending more time at work than we ever have, there's something extremely valuable about living closer to work. So it kind of goes back to my point about if you were to move into a closer area, maybe you weren't considering it, but walk around, check out what your money gets you in those new areas, and all of a sudden you might find yourself saying, hey, I enjoy a 5-minute walk to work. And I'll use Mount Vernon Triangle again. I mean, we're at a bake joint. It's this awesome coffee place, but there's a walk score of 95 in the Mount Vernon Square, Mount Vernon Triangle area, which basically means a couple things. You can lose that car payment. You could probably get away without having a car. Number two, you can certainly walk to all the things that you want to do. There's some real benefit to that, and ultimately you can ditch that long commute that you've been spending an hour each way doing. So there are a ton of advantages, and I think it's something you should definitely at least explore in the path of finding your new place. So there's a couple real reasons why expanding your search is ultimately going to be in your best interest, and from my perspective, from the real estate end, I think a lot of people miss opportunities. They go to tried and true neighborhoods, places that are established, property values are already set, and the appreciation factor just isn't there anymore. And I'll say this in closing, there's been a tremendous shift in value, what buyers are finding valuable. It's no longer about larger spaces, bigger plots of land. That migration from the urban communities to suburbia has really been shifted. The older generations, the baby boomers, the downsizers, they're moving closer into town. Younger people are staying in their apartments longer in city areas, whether that's Bethesda, DC, of course, Arlington. I mean, people are staying put in urban areas for longer. So if you don't consider that, you may be missing another market shift opportunity where things are changing quickly. So I encourage you to do it. But in the meantime, it's just important when you're approaching your home search to keep an open mind, look at new areas, try new things, visit those places, explore, literally explore, don't just cruise the internet, but go. And I'm telling you, I've seen it 1,000 times on home searches. Where you start and where you end up are often very different. So be a part of that process, keep an open mind, have fun with it, and at the end of the day, I'm confident if you do that, you may run into something that is perfect for you. And so I think we're going to leave it here today. I encourage you, if you do come to Mount Vernon Triangle, check out a bake joint. The place is awesome. The iced coffee is some of the best I've ever had, and I don't say that lightly because I love some coffee. Keeps me going. But until next time, we'll see you soon. Good. Just cut it off.